Mailbag time again here on NFL Daily. I am Will Scott answering your questions during our NFL live show on Wednesday. And if you missed the NFL, and I really missed the NFL, we're about a month removed from the Super Bowl, then like today's video if you miss the NFL. All of you should be liking today's video. We're all counting down the days until the NFL season can get rolling again. Lucky enough for us, though, we have free agency, we have the draft to kind of get us through the offseason. But like today's video if you miss football like I do. All right, we got AntYP Adenitis saying, what is Aaron Rodgers' trade value? A first. He's definitely getting traded for a first. Probably a first and a third. Might be enough to get Aaron Rodgers. But you look at deals like the Deshaun Watson trade and the Russell Wilson trade, and you're like, man, Rodgers might go for a lot. I would say either I think it's going to be 2 or 3 draft picks, probably just 1 first-round pick. However, I could see a scenario where he goes for 2 first-round picks, but I think it would depend on what team you're talking about, how high up they are in the draft order. The Pontic Show saying, do you believe the Cowboys will let go of Zeke and Pollard and draft Robinson from Texas? The Pontic Show, I can just about promise you this. If the Cowboys do not re-sign Pollard in free agency, they are 100% drafting Bijan Robinson if he's on the board. The question is, will he still be there at pick 26? I'm not sure. Probably not, but there's a chance that he could fall that far, and I think Jerry Jones has already said that they're interested in Bijan. So we'll see what happens there, but he's by far the best running back prospect in this class, and he would be a great Pollard and Zeke replacement. Zeke would have to restructure his contract if he wants any shot to stay with Dallas, but I don't think bringing Zeke back is a deal breaker for them drafting Robinson. That could be your top 2 backs right there. Crowder Joe saying, Will Anderson is the number 1 pick after the Jalen Carter news. It could happen. In order for him to be the number 1 pick, the Bears have to keep that spot. But the thinking was Chicago, if they did not trade out of that spot, might draft Jalen Carter. Not sure that's going to happen now. As we're filming this on Wednesday, there is a warrant out for Carter's arrest, and his draft stock could take a pretty big hit. Will Anderson, in my opinion, is the best prospect in the NFL draft. 51 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 1 pick last season. Alabama had 17.5 sacks in 2021. This guy is a surefire superstar in this league, and you cannot say that about a lot of prospects in this draft, but you can say that about Will Anderson, the Alabama linebacker. Now, will Anderson be the number 1 pick? Y for yes, N for no, down in the comment section. Go down, let me know. I think Chicago will trade out of that spot, so I'm going to say no, and it'll probably be a team like the Colts or the Raiders that trade up to select a quarterback there. But if they hold on to the number 1 spot after this Jalen Carter news, yeah, Will Anderson would probably be the favorite if the Bears stay put. Junior Estrada, good to see you. Patriots to trade their first-round pick and 2023 fourth-round pick for Jalen Ramsey. I don't think you need to trade a first for Ramsey. I think that would definitely get it done. I've seen Ramsey's kind of value here at 2 second-round picks. But if the Patriots did give up a first-round pick and they gave up a fourth-round pick, yeah, I definitely think that'd be enough to get the deal done. It is worth noting that Jalen Ramsey apparently wants a new contract, even though he has 3 years remaining on his current deal. But yeah, with John Jones as a free agent, Junior Estrada, you certainly think the Patriots might make a run at Jalen Ramsey. Pro Cave saying, Dak Prescott and Michael Gallup for Geno Smith. Both Seattle first and a 2024 third. Who says no? This would be wild. Prescott and Gallup for Smith. Both Seattle. I think Seattle says no. I definitely think Seattle says no to that. I mean, how big of an upgrade is Dak Prescott over Geno Smith right now? I think it's a fair question. Yeah, Dak has certainly accomplished a lot more in his career, but Geno had the better 2022 season. So I would definitely think Seattle would say no to that. But you should say yes to Cultivate, who is sponsoring today's show, the free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from those sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you can pick up the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports. Download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. Support the shop and download with our link. It's down in the comments and the description of today's show. Find the best prices at wecultivate.us/chatsports. Again, you can find that link in the comments and the description of today's video. SM saying, will the Rams get a first for Ramsey? I don't think so. I think the contract's going to factor into that. He's due $55 million over the next 3 years. I feel like the Rams are going to be looking to kind of shed some cap space, and if they can get Ramsey for 2 second-round picks, they would do it. John saying, AR goes back to FGB. What happens to Love? I take it you're a Bears fan. I'm sure Love would get a little bit of trade interest. I'm sure Love. What's that meme? It's my turn. I'm sure Love is kind of feeling like that right now, especially if Aaron Rodgers comes back. He's waited patiently for his turn. He showed some flashes. I haven't seen enough from him to say that I like him a lot, but I still think he has potential. There would probably be some trade interest. You have a lot of quarterbacks right now. There's going to be this quarterback carousel going on. So let's say the Jets strike out. Let's say the Panthers strike out the Saints. Jordan Love would probably get some trade interest. I think he might get traded if Aaron Rodgers comes back. Kendall Taylor saying, what should the Saints do about quarterback if Rodgers somehow stays with the Packers and Carr slips to the Jets? The Saints would be in a tough spot there if they miss out on Derek Carr. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers to New Orleans is going to happen. I don't think the Saints have well, they do have a draft pick. So they do have maybe the capital pull off. I haven't seen Rodgers linked to the Saints that much. I think you should draft Hendon Hooker. I think the Saints should draft Hendon Hooker in the second round. Maybe re-sign Dalton. Have those guys compete in camp. But you also have some other good backup quarterback options, like Taylor Heineke, like Cooper Rush. I'm trying to think of some other names. What's that? Jimmy G's out there, but I think Jimmy G's going to be a starter, maybe in California. Minshew. Sign a really good backup quarterback. Draft Hendon Hooker. Have those two guys compete, and have Hooker eventually take over the job. That's what I think the Saints should do for the long term. It'd be the best option. Mark, what's up? $5 super chat. We appreciate it. I keep hearing Dak can be traded. He has a no-trade clause in his contract. What are the chances Dak agrees to get traded next year? What could we get? 2 firsts? No. I don't think you're going to get 2 first-round picks for Dak. I think the only way the Cowboys would look to trade Dak and kind of have him waive that no-trade clause is if he struggles again this year or the Cowboys have an early playoff exit. Let's say the Cowboys, have this really good year again, but Dak remains inconsistent, and the Cowboys get bounced early in the playoffs, then yeah, it might be time to move on for both parties. But I do not think 2 first-round picks for Dak Prescott, maybe 1. But like you said, Mark, that would happen next year. Now, if you want to be a part of our future mailbags, you got to be subscribed to the channel. So go down and subscribe and join us for our live shows on Mondays and Wednesdays. Noah's saying, Jalen Ramsey on the Jets would be great with Sauce Gardner. Who do you think Jalen Ramsey would be a good fit for? The Lions. I think that the Lions really need some corner help. I think it makes sense. The Dolphins are another team to watch there. Some of y'all have been saying New England with John Jones as a free agent. But when you're talking about the best team fit, I think Detroit would make a lot of sense there. But maybe the Jets will try to enter the Ramsey sweepstakes as well. GM Evan Hinder saying, I heard rumors Mel Kiper's mock Falcons draft. The Iowa State McDonald, I think that is a reach. there's a lot of stuff, and I love Mel Kiper, but there was a lot of stuff I saw in his mock draft, and I'm like Tyree Wilson slipped to 12 to Houston. Like, Tyree Wilson might be a top 5 pick. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that Mel Kiper mock, Evan, that kind of surprised me. Bryce Hall saying Brandin Cooks on the move. Yeah, this is going to happen. Brandin Cooks is 100% going to get moved. KPRC, a Houston television station, is reporting that the Texans are working to move Cooks, and there are already multiple teams interested. Taking a look at what the Archer, as they call him over there in Houston, did last year, nearly 700 yards, not as good as last season, 3 touchdowns, 57 receptions. A lot of people thought he was going to get traded at the deadline. He didn't. He kind of had a bad attitude about it, was stripped of his captaincy. So, yeah, I think Cooks is going to get traded. Taking a look at some potential Brandin Cooks trade destinations. You have the Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, New England Patriots, and New York Giants, all kind of linked to Cooks. If I had to guess, I think he gets traded to the Baltimore Ravens as they try to kind of negotiate with Lamar Jackson. Where will Cooks get traded? Go down in the comments. It's not a matter of if, it's when at this point. Where is Cooks going to get traded? Big Bolt saying, does Jalen Carter drop to the second? So CBS Sports did a mock draft today, at least as we're filming this. And the title of the mock draft was Mock Draft After Jalen Carter News. And they had him falling to 17 to Pittsburgh. I don't know, Big Bolt. It's just too early to say. There's going to be more information that comes out about this. Jalen is flying to Athens to deal with this. We'll see what his lawyers say in the coming days. We'll see what his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, says in the coming days. But, yeah, this could obviously very severely hurt his stock. The fact that he was involved, reckless driving, in a car crash that proved fatal. One of his teammates died. A Georgia staff member died. It was tragic. I think we all heard of the accident last month, but now the full details about it are starting to come out. So it's too early to say, Big Bolt, how this is going to affect his draft stock. Love Letters R6. Do you think McCole Hardman will resign with will resign with the Chiefs, or can he go to a different team? Cough, cough, Vince. Love Letters R6. Good to see you, man. I know you watch our Dolphins channel too. I don't know how Miami's going to address the wide receiver 3 spot. I don't know if Ced Wilson's going to be back. I feel like he might get traded, but McCole Hardman, maybe you want to go back and play with Tyreek Hill. We'll see. I would name a lot more teams as a destination for him, though. Not Miami, maybe, because they already have a lot of depth at that position.